Welcome to the NDHSAA and NDOA basketball officials training video. My name is Justin Fletchock, Assistant Director with the NDHSAA. I hope your season is going well thus far. We are now in the heart of the season and need to finish strong heading into the postseason play. This is a good time to readdress a few of the fundamentals and make sure we are all on the same page. The two items we will go over in this video are proper court positioning and the RA, or restricted area. We will primarily focus on three-person coverage. Being in the proper position on the court allows us to have the best opportunity to make the proper call. You should not call it if you can't see it. As the image shows, our base positions in the half court for three-person are as follows. For the lead, our base position is between the three-point line and the nearest lane line. For the center, our base position would be free throw line extended. For the trail, our base position is the 28-foot mark. As a lead, depending on the position of the ball and your post players, you may move to either a closed down position, pinching the paint, or moving completely across the lane area to the strong side. A general rule is, if the ball is on the opposite side, you should be at least in a closed down position. As the center and trail, we want to hug the sideline inbounds while in our base positions. We can always leave our base positions to come further onto the floor to gain an angle to see between players or to position adjust. But when that competitive matchup has ended, return to your base position. As the center, a step or two will usually get us to where we need to be. As the trail, we want to work at the 28-foot mark and in. Having two centers is a better situation than having two trails. Two-person coverage is also displayed here on the opposite side of the floor. Whereas we talk about an active lead in three-person, the trail needs to be fairly active in a two-person crew. Work anywhere from the free throw line extended to the dissection point of the court near the half-court circle to see between players. Your base position as trail is shown here on the image. Again, just work to get angles as both the lead and trail to see between players. Let's now look at some plays. Let's watch play one and then analyze it in slow motion. As we start out in half-court coverage, we can see our trail and center are in good base positions with the trail working in deep. As the play breaks out in the other direction, we have great hustle by both the old trail / new lead and the center. Something to keep in mind, if we are unable to beat the play down the floor as the lead, we may need to slow down and take a step onto the floor to get an angle to see between players. After the missed shot, players quickly return in the opposite direction, and our new lead gets to the end line to make the proper foul call. Notice our trail has gotten back and in proper position to help on the foul call. The trail posted on the foul, but didn't signal being this is in the lead's primary. One small note. The bird dog signal is only needed for clarification purposes when multiple players are involved in the play. Great hustle and effort by this crew to get up and down the floor and get to proper positioning to make the right call. In this half-court situation, notice how the center is allowing the ball to push him up the floor. Our lead quickly moves across the lane because we have both the ball and a post player on the strong side. The old center is in no hurry to become a new trail because he has good angles to see between players where he is at. At the 4:18 mark on the game clock, notice the slight position adjust our trail makes to keep his angle to see between players. A nice job by this crew at being in the proper position and moving as the ball and players dictate. We start out with good base positioning by the crew on this play. After the shot goes up and the rebound is gathered, notice how our center takes a step or two further onto the floor and a step down to help cover this strong side play on the opposite side of the floor. When the ball returns to above the key, she returns to her base. On the shot attempt, our trail was a little slow to get his center position, but does a nice job to get where he can see between players and to take our shooter and defender all the way down to the floor. Working in will typically allow us to be involved in the play and to get improved angles to see between players. The restricted area, or RA. Let's discuss a few of the fundamentals of the rule. A secondary defender is a teammate who has helped a primary defender after that player has been beaten by an opponent. A defensive player is beaten when the offensive player's head and shoulders get past the defender. A secondary defender cannot establish initial legal guarding position in the restricted area for the purpose of drawing player control, foul, or charge when defending a player who is in control of the ball, i.e. dribbling or shooting, or who has released the ball for a pass or a try. When illegal contact occurs within the restricted area, such contact shall be called a blocking foul, unless the contact is a flagrant foul. When the offensive player leads with a foot, unnatural knee, wards off with an arm, or when a player in control of the ball stops continuous movement towards the basket and then initiates illegal contact with a secondary defender in the restricted area, this is a player control foul. A secondary defender is considered to be in the restricted area when he or she is grounded and any part of either foot is in or above this area. If the secondary defender had established legal guarding position within the RA, then jumps within his or her vertical plane, he or she is no longer considered to be an illegal because of the RA. This is called walling up and is legal. After an offensive rebound, there are no secondary defenders when the rebounder makes an immediate move to the basket. In an outnumbered fast break situation, any defensive player or players initially shall be a secondary defender. It is encouraged and recommended that the trail and center provide help, if necessary, on such plays. If the non-calling official can provide definitive information to the calling official, i.e. the defender was legally positioned outside of the restricted area, the lead will then determine if the call shall be switched. If the ruling is switched, the calling official should blow the whistle and emphatically signal the change. Now let's look at some of the plays. In this play, you will see how to play defense as a secondary defender in the RA. If this secondary defender stays grounded, it is an automatic blocking foul. Because he jumps or walls up, he is legal. The secondary defender leaves the floor and stays within his vertical cylinder. This is a great play to learn from and nicely done by our crew on the floor. On this play, our crew is in good base positions to cover this play as it begins. As this play develops, the player with the ball beats her primary defender as she drives to the basket. A secondary defender steps in and is grounded within the RA when illegal contact occurs. This is an RA contact foul. The lead is the primary on this play, but the RA is a crew call, and it can still come from the trail or center if they have definitive information. On this play, both our lead and center have good looks to see the left foot is within the RA. If coming to get this play from the center or trail position, Be slow with your whistle, allowing the lead to first crack at it. The bottom line, though, is that we want to get it right. The lead is in a great position to see this illegal secondary defender. The offensive player performs a pick and roll, beating his primary defender. He receives the pass prior to contact with the secondary defender, who is illegally in the restricted area, and contact occurs, resulting in a foul. This is a perfect signaling sequence by the lead here, including the point to the RA. This is a textbook RA play and well done by the official and crew. Thank you for taking the time to view this video and for all the hard work all of you do during the season. It is greatly appreciated.